Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to focus on the suspension system of this VW Bug, and it is a complete new design for my suspension system. So let's get started. Hello everyone and thank you for joining the second part of this series. And if you didn't see the first one, you can go back and start with the first video. And on the first video I was creating the roof rack for this vehicle. So if you're interested about how to make a roof rack for your car, you can go back and see the first video. And if not, it's okay, you can start from this one. And on this video I will be focusing on a new suspension design for this car. If you are familiar about this channel, you've probably seen me before doing this custom lift modification for my off-road cars, and today I'm going to show you a better way to do the same thing and lift your cars with suspension system. I always try to minimize my designs and make them better and better. Therefore, I had this idea about creating a skid plate and a bracket for the axle using the same piece. Now you can see I'm using a plate made of metal, and from this part I'm going to make few folds and also cut channels for the axle. Now I'm just marking these dots and I'm going to drill them, and from this part I'm going to make the skid plate. Right now I'm cutting two channels for the axle to move up and down. Remember, if you're making this channel long, you will have more travel, and if it's short, you will have shorter travel. The great advantage of using metal parts for a car is that you can fold them many times and find the correct position of each part, and they will not break while you're trying to fit them. Another advantage of using metal parts for your car is that they're already in the right color if you wish to add some metal details for your car. They will not break because they're very strong, they are lightweight, and they stick easily if you're using super glue. Moving on to the next part, it is going to be the spring that I'm going to use. I need to mark a tiny dot and then drill a hole at the middle of this plate, and then I will use a screw in order to attach this part to the base. If you wonder where you can get this spring part, you can use measuring tape, and you will have about 3 or 4 meters of this material, which is very valuable if you wish to create yourself a suspension system. After fitting this spring in place, I will create another bracket for the rear axle. It is going to be something that will be almost similar to the front one. The order of fitting these parts together is very important. First you have to fit the front piece of the bashing plate, then the spring, and afterwards the rear bracket. And now you can see how easy my suspension system is working, and it is a very easy way to create yourself a lifted car if you wish to do so. You can also adjust the stiffness of this spring by bending it. It is a little bit of trial and error, but I'm pretty sure that you will get the hang of it after a few tries. After finishing fitting the parts together, it is time to test the car. You can see it has some nice proportions now. The spring has this protecting plate that I've added, and you cannot see the screw anymore. Another thing I always like to do with my cars is to adjust the spring in a way that the car will articulate under its own weight. I'm very pleased about the final outcome of my new design for this suspension system, and now I can move on to the next step, which is going to be creating the bumpers front and back for this car, and also adding the tools on the roof rack. By the time I am editing this part of this video, the car is already done, but the trailer is on the making. So after finishing showing you this car, I will have another video and I will show you how I've made the trailer, and I hope it will turn out to be good as this car. So I will see you in a few days with the third part of this car, and then it is going to be a new set of videos with the trailer. Bye bye.